All right, everyone. I think I'll get started here. So, first off, we are not pressed for time. We have the room till about 4:30, so we'll spend whatever time we need right now to talk about Mom, remember Mom. I'm going to kick things off, and then it's going to be open mic night here. So, anyone wants to come up, share a few words, you're more than welcome to. Don't feel rushed. You'll see, I take my time with this stuff, so there's no time clock going. I will get through this, so if I have a few moments, nobody needs to run up. Just let me catch my breath, and then we'll go from there. Okay, on behalf of my sister and our families, we would like to thank each of you for being here to celebrate Mom's life. Today is a bit surreal. It honestly feels like yesterday we were all down in Florida celebrating Dad's life. It's hard to believe that was almost 2.5 years ago. With that said, today we're all here to honor and remember Mom. This is a powerful statement I made during Dad's celebration of life, and one I will reiterate today. Time is the greatest gift that we have. As my sister and I look across the room and see family and close friends, there's one immediate word that comes to our mind. That's blessed. If it wasn't for each of you and the continuous support you've been providing us, this loss we are facing would be daunting. It's a privilege to have each of you here today as we celebrate Mom, and we appreciate your gift of time and the sacrifices you made to be here with us. Your calls, emails, text messages, cards, personal visits over the past few weeks have been received with love, gratitude, and open arms. Stephanie and I have never felt alone throughout our grieving process, and we hope you share the same sentiment. We are all in this together, and the strength we continue to provide each other will allow us to navigate this difficult time. Most of you knew Mom as Renee, Aunt Renee, Miss Lyons, or her favorite title and the name she loved hearing the most, Nana. If there was anything that immediately filled Mom's happy tank, it was spending time with her 4 granddaughters, Emma, Anna, Julia, and Catherine. It was always the simple things in life that fueled Mom, and they consistently revolved around family and her dear friends. Shocked, disbelief, confused, sad, those are a few words that describe how we all felt October 1st when we heard Mom had passed. While it was sudden and unexpected, I don't question why it happened, as the search for that answer will not change the circumstance. What I do focus on is knowing Mom is reunited with her soulmate, the person she spent over 50 years of her life with, and the past 2.5 years missing the most, Dad. While it's indescribable how much we all miss Mom, we can celebrate and feel assured that she's been reunited with Dad, and they'll be together forever. While reflecting on Mom's life over the past few weeks, there are a few characteristics that exemplify who she was and will serve as her legacy. Her love for Dad. As mentioned, Mom and Dad were together for over 50 years. They cherished their time together and embodied what a strong marriage represents. Stephanie and I were so fortunate to grow up surrounded by this love and the stability of a healthy household, and Mom was at the center of that. Her love for all of us, Mom's family and friends, meant the world to her. Mom did an amazing job throughout her life to maintain a consistent connection to all those who were most important to her. She was great about always checking in with us to see how we're doing, sending the birthday wishes, and being there for us during our tough times. Mom was a stellar sister, aunt, cousin, and friend. We're all gonna miss those phone calls. Her strength for the family. Growing up as an Army brat, we'd often state home is where the military sends you. We moved roughly, I said 10, sounds like 13 times throughout my dad's tenure in the Army. Mom was the backbone of our family throughout these transitions, which allowed Dad to focus on being the best he could in his demanding career. Mom played an integral role in making sure Stephanie and I always acclimated to our new surroundings while keeping a keen sense if we weren't adjusting. We knew we were always safe with Mom, and she would be there for us to solve any problem we were facing. Her inner strength. Within 3 months in early 2023, Mom was diagnosed with cancer, experienced a surgery that unfortunately did not go as planned, and dealt with these challenges while the love of her life passed away. I saw Mom at her lowest of lows, a low that would break most of us. The Despite the obstacles she was facing at the time, I witnessed the strength that Mom displayed, which moved me. Mom never asked why me or shed tears of pity. She also never questioned her faith during these turbulent times. If anything, she leaned more into it. I learned a lot about Mom throughout those experiences, and that gave me the strength I needed during difficult times that I've had. Now, there are a few specific memories I have of Mom which bring me a smile. It's time to lighten the mood. Growing up in the Lyons household, Dad had a strict rule about eating all the vegetables that were served on our plate at dinner time. I was not allowed to leave the table until my plate was cleared. Needless to say, this led to many tears and what seemed like hours of me staring at a plate of cold peas that I would attempt to choke down one at a time. We unfortunately did not have a family pet I could pawn these veggies off to. It would hit a point where everyone would leave the table as they were done with dinner, but there's always one person who would quietly come back, grab my fork, and eat the majority of veggies for me. I'd probably still be sitting at the dinner table without Mom, especially on the evenings lima beans were served. Oof. Mom loved playing games. Don't be fooled by how sweet she was, because she had a competitive side. We grew up playing a lot of board and card games, and it was one of her favorite ways to bond, especially during family gatherings. I'll never forget the laughter and quality time we had together as a family while we competed on who was going to be the winner. Over the past few years, we moved to word puzzles and started a family group text where we send our daily Wordle, Quordle, and Octortle scores. We kept the text thread strong after Dad passed away, and I know Mom would be disappointed if we didn't do the same for her. On that note, a special thank you to Julia. Here we are, Julia, for sparking that thread up again last week. It's important. Thanks, Julia. All right, get ready for this one. Now, I'd be lying if I didn't admit I knew this day would come at some point in life, and there's one thing I was going to share about Mom. Those who spent time with Mom knew she was quite the whistler. Oh goodness, Mom could whistle. The whistle would start faintly, and it would begin to build and build louder. She would then layer in humming to the music that was being played. Didn't matter if she was on the beat or not. She was her own personal symphony. While I recall many times looking at her and saying, "Mom, please, no more." The funny thing is, while her whistling would often drive me crazy, I frequently found myself whistling only minutes later. I guess she rubbed off on me like that. I even put her up to a whistling challenge one day, but in reality, she didn't know she was being tested. During her last visit to Virginia, she rode me to pick up dinner, and I decided I would change the music station every 3 or 4 minutes to see if she would attempt to whistle regardless of the music genre. I decided to be extra quiet during the drive as Mom did not like silence, so I knew she would fill it with her whistles. Mom did not disappoint that drive. I think at one point I was playing 50 Cent in the club and she was whistling away. She could not be stopped. If Celine Dion, Josh Groban, or Barbra Streisand were playing, it was pure bliss for Mom. I'm imagining her exclaiming, "Sean," from above as she's hearing me tell these stories. Sorry, Mom. When tragedy strikes, it's important we hold our heads high and we take away something positive that we can apply to our lives. While the world stopped for a moment on October 1st, we must continue to move forward and be strong. Mom would expect nothing less. What has this loss taught me? During my reflection the past few weeks, there's a recurring theme that comes up, and that is to be present. Life often feels like being on a hamster wheel. We're doing our best to keep up with the pace as the wheel never stops moving. Whether it's demands with work, family commitments, our own health, or a little device we all carry in our pockets that tends to constantly distract us. It's tough to balance it all. As we continue to move forward in life, it's important to me to be present, especially when with family and friends. As mentioned earlier, time is a gift, and it's imperative to do my best when with family and friends, to put those distractions aside for a moment and enjoy the time I have with them. Unexpectedly losing Mom was a harsh reminder that tomorrow is not promised, and we must always be present and live for each day. So I'm going to conclude with this story. It was the Friday after Mom passed, and I was still in Houston with Stephanie. I was not having a good day. The reality of losing Mom was hitting me hard. I wore a brave face, but internally I was heartbroken. That day, good, a little break in action. Could use that. That day, Stephanie and I were focused on running a few errands in preparation for the service and the Celebration of Life gathering. We first visited a venue, which I knew instantly would not suit our needs. We then went to Mom's house, which on one hand felt comforting, but only intensified my sadness. While at Mom's house, Stephanie had the strength to draft the obituary and handed it to me to revise. I stared at it in disbelief. Did this really happen? Can this be real? In that moment, I could only copy and paste what Stephanie had written into ChatGPT, and I asked for enhancements. I had nothing to say or contribute at that moment. After leaving Mom's, we entered our day at the church to finalize the service and then went back to Stephanie's house. When we arrived, I contemplated heading to my room to bury my head in the bed, but I decided to stay downstairs. While sitting at the kitchen table, Stephanie's sweet and energetic dog, Maddie, came up to me and was eager for a good game of catch. Instead of playing inside like we did the day before, I wanted to go in the backyard so I could really run her down. We began our game of catch, and I will say Maddie is the best dog I've ever played. That's not making that up. She's amazing. We began our game of catch, and while sitting on the chair outside, strong gusts of wind began to build. I questioned where this wind was coming from, but it felt great, as I'm not used to the Houston heat, or Texas these days. While enjoying the coolness the wind provided, I raised my head and looked off in the distant sky to my left and noticed some clouds beginning to form. While I saw these clouds, the sun was still present. I then turned my head back down and noticed extremely small raindrops that began to faintly fall as I could see them hit my phone. I then looked back up again to my left, and out of nowhere, a rainbow began to appear. It immediately took my breath away. It was magical. I started taking a few photos, and the rainbow began to radiate even brighter. I knew at that moment it was Mom. She was sending me the hug that I was longing for and needed that day. As I began to cry, I felt a calming sense of relief. All the worries and sadness that I felt throughout the day were lifted from my soul. As I stood there continuing to stare at the rainbow, I then observed a faint but noticeable second rainbow appear. It was Dad. This was my sign that they were together and everything is going to be okay. I immediately yelled for Stephanie to come outside, and we embraced and shared our tears together. When you look at the picture I took of the first rainbow, some even say you can see an angel in the clouds. It was a powerful experience and one I'll never, ever forget for the rest of my life. Mom, we all love and miss you. Thank you for blessing us with your life. We will forever cherish all the love, laughter, support you gave us. We're so happy you're at peace with Dad, and we will see you on the other side. I do want to thank all you all in the room, again, for being here today to celebrate Mom's life, and then give a special thank you to Stephanie and Rebecca for everything you guys did to prepare for today. And, I especially want to thank my nieces for all the time that they spent with Nana, especially while she lived here in Houston. And also Catherine for all the virtual Guess Who games that you would play with Nana. She loved that. Stephanie, there's no other person I would have wanted Mom to be with during her final moments. So thank you for being there with her and comforting her. Thank you, guys. It's an open mic. If anyone has anything they would like to say, it doesn't have to be that long, but it's here. Please come up. And thank you, guys.